All right, here's my trades for today. Um, so AMD I liked. Um it was a seemed weaker than the rest of the market. Market was sort of pulling back in the pre-market and going up a bit, while AMD was continuing to trickle down. And when I zoomed out, I remembered that big reversal here on the daily. We were near it, and we actually hit it in the pre-market, the 125 whole dollar number. So, and that was right here. Um, and so price was about to open here around 126. So I put down here, I like this as support. So I got a limit order ready to potentially enter at 125 for a long. However, at the open, I started to find these resistance levels, and I really liked this one up here. But just looking at yesterday, how it kind of came down hard, bounced, and then closed right here, I really liked this level, this 128. And that lined up pretty decently with that sort of double bottom V kind of reversal here from last week. So I'll just show the tape here. I have a video here of the open. This was a couple minutes into the open, and price opens right here, 126, starts going up, and the faster it goes up, the more I'm looking at 128, like, damn, 128 looks like a really good resistance, a really good short entry, because just kind of had that rising devil sort of feel. Had been trickling down through the pre-market, seemed to be in play, and it was at about 1 RVOL. I think it increased throughout the day, but I don't know, I just felt like the faster I got up to 128, I wanted to get in short. I didn't end up doing it, but you can see here that the final clue where 128 fills, and it rejects here. Just going up here, right there, you can see that big order just went through. Let me go back again to right. I'll pause it here. Man, it goes really fast. But anyways, it was a highlighted order at 128. Doesn't fill on the really big order tape, but it does fill here. And you can see nothing really above, I guess a few above 128, but it fails it pretty quickly. So, I mean, it gave me a few seconds to enter, and I almost pulled that limit order down to fill me short, but just couldn't do it. But it ended up being an awesome sort of resistance there. Got all the way down to 125, which is that original level that I liked for a long. So sort of conflicted. I really liked 128 here for the open, for that open sort of bounce, but for the bigger picture, I liked 125 to potentially hold. So I had a limit order down here that I was going to bring up and get long down here, right around 125 if I saw an opening. But I guess the stock sort of did both things for me, just didn't trade it well. So that's that tape there. And you can see here that price did end up coming down to 125 on the 5-minute chart, not for very long, and then even did a little double bottom retest, which is nice. And but it definitely was a range day. I mean, this is an ATR here. So you can see here that it only moved about half an ATR. So we had high RVOL, 140% here, but just a lot of compression and a lot of battling going on, probably because we are so near to this sort of bottom here. I think if 125 fails, we're going to get some pretty good continuation down. And so I tried to enter it at lesser levels, sort of the middle area. Didn't like that. And then I did try to short here with a really wide stop. And of course, I didn't let it come back. It went down for about 15 minutes. I got impatient and got out at break even, tried it one more time, got out. So, just bad management by me. This is about 10 to 15% of an ATR. That's kind of my range when I enter. So if I would have entered it for that opening drive, Rising Devil here, I would have had about that much of a risk spread or whatever there. and then vice versa for the 125. Had I gone long there, I would have used somewhere in the vicinity of that 85, 80 cents for my risk, and then that would have given me a good enough risk reward from 128 down to 125. That's a $3 move. That's over 3 to 1, and then vice versa over to 3 to 1 with the potential. I guess if I would have gotten long 125 after seeing this, I would have gotten most of it out at 128, and if it would have held, thought that maybe it could have gone to this really good level, which kind of aligns with my ATR here. Let's see. All right, and then I traded BABA. I'm not happy about this one. I don't really know what I was seeing. I think I zoomed out, tried to find a level. Here's the daily. I don't really know what's going on here. I thought these levels up here were much better because they were sort of gaps and stuff. But in terms of playing the levels in here, I was probably reaching a bit. I just said, okay, we're up here. I actually like this little top here. So I just went long on that level. So, but this was a good learning experience for me because, I mean, clearly it wasn't a good level. I mean, you can even see price literally just rip through it all day long. And it wasn't even that precise either. It kind of went a little bit higher and higher here. So, but what I did was I was like, well, let me look at the VPA and the pivots on this bad boy and see what I was doing. And, Thor actually took BABA, and it made sense what he was saying. So what he was saying was sort of a back to value play, sort of an overextension, shorting it. So if I zoom out, sort of like I was trying to find those levels, well, without looking at the levels right away, you can see that that value is pretty strong down here at 130, as high as like 133. Really, this whole box here. So really from 133 all the way down to 127. So while it did sort of compress here and make some tight pivots, and it did break out, it sort of did the breakout over pre-market, which is never the best, which is usually not good for like a continuation long, because it's on less volume. And then, these few days back here, we did have the pivot points were up here, saying this would have been the sort of the highest point where it would have seen some resistance up here, which is right around where it opened. So overall, value is way down here. The very last resistance points were up here in the past few days, and then it was sort of doing its quote unquote breakout. It did it in the pre-market, and I was having trouble finding levels. So honestly, I feel like it was a better short than it was a long, or it just wasn't a good trade for me at all. So, but you can see here, if I go forward, that even though value was down there, with all the volume that it did bring the value VPOC up a bit higher now. And yeah. Okay. So, and then I tried SPY a few times. Again, tried to make some levels, sort of notated where I thought were the best levels. I thought, up here 465 I really liked, and then 460 I really liked. And here were more sub levels, sort of what it's been doing the last few days. And when you find levels like that, they're not going to be as strong. This level was the bottom of this V double bottom, so I thought maybe there was more weight to that. So when price opened, went up, hit that, was seeing weakness with the wicks on the 5-minute here, and just thought it was a short here. Now, I guess it would have just been a range trade. So it really would have just been back down to like either 454, 50, and then maybe back down to 451. Sort of like it's doing, only it had to get a bit higher. And then, but then it's like, well, if I'm not trading at my best levels, I probably shouldn't be trading it. I mean, that's the point of, I should be trading. If I'm trading at the best level, that's sort of my plus, or the idea that I like. Whereas when I trade in here, it's probably a lesser trade, right? Maybe a C or a B. So then if I go to the VPA pivots, I kind of try to make sense of it all here. I kind of back up a little bit right before the open and sort of say, well, where was value? Where were the pivots? Well, price was clearly going down. Pivots were shifting down here. They I don't really know what the pivots are doing here. They're kind of just staying the same and just shifting down. But value, no doubt, is up here at 456, which is actually, is that the level that I liked? Oh, that's the level that I tried to short at. So I actually tried to short at VPOC, at value, which I don't like to do that. In my mind, if I'm trading at VPOC, I'm trading in the middle of the range, and that's not what I want to do. You know, if something establishes value, like if something establishes value, say from here to here, I do not want to trade in the middle. I mean, I understand that some people could do that, or that could be a play, but that's not my idea. Is that I want to trade on the edge and then go short, or on the bottom and go long, or it breaks, retests, and then I go short. So I guess maybe I'll start to look at these VPAs a bit more, and you know, I'll pick my levels like I've been doing when I clear the chart, find my higher time frame levels, see if some of them align. You know, I do feel like the last few days it was a little bit harder to find levels in here. So why not go to the VPA, check out that, see what's going on with that, and then kind of visualize, okay, well, what is it going to gravitate towards if volume isn't, if it's not going strongly to seek value or have a ton of volume, where is it going to sort of gravitate back towards? And that would be, you know, wherever value has been the last few days. And so that can maybe give me kind of a bigger idea of where the direction might be as well. So that's all I got. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.